Project of the day. Valve covers up, got coil packs out, injectors unplugged. I'm going to set this up here somewhere. Maybe. See if you guys can see what's wrong. This thing had a distinctive, well, let me back up. They took it to a shop because it had a rattle in it. And the shop automatically said, without doing any checks, nothing, drop valve. And I said, I don't think it's got a drop valve. Bring it over and let me look at it. So they drove up, and I put my hand on the fender, and I said, it ain't got no drop valve. It runs too smooth. And but you can rev it up and you can hear a rattle come and go. And you can put a screwdriver up to the block, stick it to your ear, and make that rattle come and go, and you can tell the speed of it about where it's coming from. So I got the screwdriver out and I had them start it up and rev it up till it started rattling, and I went along and I narrowed it down to these two. And what I think has happened, this one don't travel as far. You can see how loose it is. Or this one's snug, this one's snug, this one's snug. What I think has happened is it has actually wiped the cam lobe out. Because this one travels about half as far as these three. And that's what you watch in the video. This, like this one here, will push that valve down below this lip of this head. Okay? This one won't go that far. So I got to take and the only way to get to the lifters is to take the heads off. And we're going to go ahead and probably put a cam and lifters, timing chain, water pump. Because here's the other problem. You know, these things come with Dexcool from the factory. And this thing has been leaking, so they've added water. And that's all inside the engine. So we're going to have to get a new coolant tank, clean the whole system out. And, you know, the other place was basically wanting to sell them a whole motor. I don't think it needs a motor. I think we can save it. So we'll be back. Alright, got the intake off. You can clearly see this has been, this intake's been leaking. It's got oil. Oh, well, this one ain't so bad. It's got that back one's leaking there. These three up front here are leaking. So the valve cover's been leaking, puddling here, and leaking into the engine. And we will continue. Alright, got the head off. And this was my suspicions all along. You can see that roller. Okay. And then here's a good roller. See how much it sticks up? This one is seized up and has been rubbing on the camshaft. You see the flat spot on that. Look at that. That roller is just seized up. So we need to put a cam, timing chains, lifters, everything. And this is how you get the lifters out of this thing. You pull the head off, and they're in these cages like that. So we'll go ahead and get this other head off, start tearing the front of the car down. The whole front of this car has got to be tore apart to get the cam out. And then we will be back. This is what happens when you add Dexcool or water to Dexcool antifreeze. The whole cooling system is going to look like that. So we're going to flush everything out. but I got the whole top end tore apart. We had several scored lifters, one of them totally junk. I'm gonna push it outside, get the radiator out of it, see if I can run some fresh water through these coolant system passages and see if we can flush some of that junk out of there. Alright, I skipped a few steps. We're going to leave the AC condenser hooked up and just pulled out of the way. Got to get a harmonic balancer puller to get that balancer off. Got to get the alternator loose, AC compressor loose, just let them hang. And then the rest of the cover bolts. I got the water pump off. That's basically all I'm lacking. All of the lights they had bundled up with these stupid little, that's for the siren. These are for the lights up front. These are for the lights up front. But they had them all wired, going through different holes in the grill, and then bundled up and taped behind the grill and hooked up. So you had to cut them to get the bumper bar off. You can see how they had them hooked up, just all bundled up. I had to take the driving lights off, couldn't get to the bolts. I've never taken the bumper bar off of one of these, so that and the other thing, when you take your 4 bolts out of your bumper bar, you're going to have 2 tack welds you got to drill out. That's all that's holding it on after you take the bolts out of it. Then this has you got 2 bolts inside the bumper cover, and then you got these crash bar brackets that have spacers, which are these, in replace of these short ones. These hold the bumper bar on, but you only got 4 of them, 2 on each side, and then you got 2 of these with 2 of these long bolts that hold that crash bar bracket on. But there's the siren. We had to cut the wires on that. And other than that, we've just about got this camshaft out, but I can't pick the tool up till 6 o'clock to get the harmonic balancer off because I don't have the right bolts in my kit. And then we're going to do it. But you know, everybody tells me take this AC compressor out and suck the freon out. There ain't no need in it. I got plenty of room right there. And we'll just leave that sit there. Transmission cooler right there. These have electric steering, so you won't have a power steering cooler. Don't have a power steering pump. It's got a $1,400 rack. It's electric steering. And then we'll start cleaning it up, order parts. There's the cam plate and the variable valve timing and the timing chain. Here's the camshaft. Worn, scuffed, scuffed, worn, scuffed, 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 scuffed. Oops. This one's bad. You can see the chrome peeling. See the chrome peeling on this one. See the chrome peeling on the back side of that one. That's a bad camshaft, folks. This is what they call a high-performance oil pump in a high-performance engine. Runs off the crankshaft. And there we go. Hope I remember how to put this together. Down to the block. And there we go. I just broke the alternator loose, let it lay. Took the air compressor loose, let it lay. So I can keep the AC condenser attached to the system so we don't have to recharge it. Because it's never been tampered with. You don't want to tamper with it unless you have to. But anyways, we'll get a new crank gear, timing chain kit, tensioners, camshaft, lifters. I got a whole list of parts. $1,800 worth. That's my cost. $1,800, $150 worth of spark plugs in this thing. But anyways, that's the end of part 1. That's what happens when you got a Dodge Charger with a Magnum in it, or a Hemi. They're all like this, just about every one of them. Dodge dealers got a month order backlog, or a month-long back order on lifters. They got 5 in the shop tore down, no parts. I'm gonna get an aftermarket cam and put in it because I think it's a hardness issue with the metal. It's either that or it's oil related, and it's got the thing's missing. 520 is what it calls for, and I personally think that's way too thin with a car with almost 80,000 miles on it. It should have a 1040 in it or a full synthetic. That's my personal opinion.